Yeah, let's rock out with the mic.
Let me get the mic out. Peace and love, everybody tuned in. We're going to start here in the next 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Get this mic out. Alright, let me go ahead and send this out in the Discord, and we'll get right to it. Alright, fam, if you guys are just tuning in, drop what city you guys are tuning in from. We just got back from Japan. Prior to that, we were on tour, in 20 cities in the last, we did 20 cities in 45 days. So in a month and a half, we did 20 cities. We plan to do more. In some cities, we didn't always get the place or the amount of tickets sold really to even do an event out there. So drop your guys' city. We'll definitely be touring again next year. Looking forward to getting to know all of you guys and the places where we did do events. Looking to expand on those cities. Atlanta, was one of the best places that we did an event. Texas, so drop one thing, drop where you guys are from, drop your city, drop something you're grateful for before we go ahead and get started. All right, so I know a lot of you guys are wondering how to fix your credit, and I want you guys to understand that in order for me to be able to go out and teach other people, I started with fixing my own. So this wasn't a mission or something that started out with me wanting to go out and just teach other people right away. This was something that I learned for myself because things that I was facing and things that were on my report, and at the time I had a lot of student loans on my report. At the time I had things in collections. I had, I believe, a charged off account from one of the smaller revolving accounts, and then I had that was it to get started. And I had tons of inquiries because I kept going to the dealerships. I kept going to different banks and I didn't know that inquiries affected my report at the time. So this was back in 2020 when I first got started to credit, and I didn't know much or anything really about credit. Just like many of you guys, probably all of you guys here, this isn't something that's taught in the schooling system. This isn't something that they want us to know about. They don't want us to know how the credit system truly works. That's why I do what I do now, as I found out the information that I've found out throughout my studies and throughout my, just overall investment into mentorship, investment into information, investment into guidance. That's what got me to where I'm at so quick. And I believe if I've ever seen things clearer than others, I always say it's simply because I stood on the shoulders of giants. And I can't stress that enough. I truly mean that when I say that. I truly have been blessed, and I'm going to give you guys some insight on my mentors, the people that have guided me throughout this process of me being able to get to the exact position I'm at, to where now we got over 7,000 subscribers and we've got our YouTube monetized, and people come here and tune in daily, weekly, watch my replays throughout their whole day, time and time again. And there's a reason as to that. I'm not saying this at all to impress you guys, but to impress upon you guys that you too can be that individual going out and educating the masses on this information. If that's not something that you feel is your calling, you too can go out and help those around you, your loved ones, as well too, with their credit and fixing their credit. You too can be that one to help, just those around you, once again, or the masses, your friends, just looking to start another business. This can be your other business. So I want you guys to understand, with me giving you guys an insight on how I started, with my report and the things that were on my report, I came to it with little to no knowledge. You guys are probably a lot further than me, especially if you guys have been tuned in to at least just one of my videos, because I didn't know of anybody that was like me teaching this information. I had wished for a person that I could find on YouTube that did teach this amount of information for free. So didn't know much, seen a lot on YouTube, searched a lot, seen a lot of fluff. And so I was like, okay, the realest and the best information that I feel that I did find when I was going through looking for information was by this individual named Bandman Kevo. All right, so if y'all know of Bandman Kevo, one of my business partners actually put me onto him at the time. I really didn't know much about him. And if you guys have watched his videos, he's great with marketing. Now, when it comes to actually giving the game, it's good, but there's still a lot of extra things around it that you got to he doesn't really give you the ins and outs of everything and really the insider information. But he does lead you to the information. He does lead you to the accounts that you can add on to building your report. So I had invested into his OnlyFans. I invested $50 a month into his OnlyFans. Right, he has an OnlyFans where he's got tons of information from Airbnb to car rental to credit, a lot of credit stuff, business credit stuff, trade line information, authorized user accounts. He's got a lot of different information throughout there just on wealth as a whole. So he really got me started with this journey of being able to help other people with more than just one tool and one resource. Because at the time I was in the crypto space helping people specifically learn how to day trade cryptocurrencies. And this was back in 2019 when everybody thought crypto and Bitcoin and Ethereum were all scams, right? If you were doing that, if you invested in the crypto at the time, they thought you were, scamming people. Granted, there are a lot of people in the space that do use it to scam people out of it in terms of, send me this Bitcoin here. And if anybody ever tells you to send Bitcoin, that's a scam, first and foremost. I was actually educating people how to educational platform that I was partnered with. And I recently just partnered with another company where we do offer teachings in terms of crypto. So I wanted to just be able to provide information and not just credit information. And I realized that everybody's got credit, but not everybody knows about credit, right? Everybody wants a business, but not everybody knows about business credit. So I figured if I took the time to study this information, if I invest into myself, that I'd be able to be that person to add value to this marketplace. And I promised that if I ever did get my hands around the right information, that I would over deliver on this information. So I continued to learn and I continued searching. And then I came across this guy and this individual named Him500. So at the time, I had stopped doing my last business and I was only doing DoorDash. I was doing Uber Eats, or not Uber Eats, DoorDash and what's the other one? I forget the other one. But I was DoorDashing, right? And throughout my time DoorDashing, because I was, ever since 2019, I made the decision to go full in and full time with entrepreneurship. And the business that I was doing back in 2019 to 2021, around 2021, it started to get slow. And I ended up I stopped doing that company, and I wanted to focus and start up my own, but I just didn't know specifically as to what I would start up. So this is now a couple months in, and I'm just DoorDashing throughout the time, listening to podcasts, just consuming myself with information. I literally turned my car into a mobile classroom. Everywhere that I went, I was listening to information, not listening to any music. I sacrificed what I loved for a period of time, or eventually what I loved would have been the sacrifice. And I want you guys to understand that sometimes you can't always listen to music. There's got to be periods where you got to listen to information. There's got to be periods where you got to just consume yourself with information that's going to help reprogram yourself and change the trajectory of where the lane that you guys are heading in, where you guys are heading in that time. So I've literally reprogrammed my mind and attracted information and wealth that took me here to this position to where now I'm empowering, just here on this YouTube channel, over 7,000 people that a year ago I had 0 subscribers on YouTube. Fast forward now, all of you guys have tuned into this channel and have been brought here for a reason, and that's because of the value that I'm bringing to the marketplace. I don't run any ads. I don't have any affiliates. I don't have any of that. All that is just all word of mouth marketing, all off the muscle of adding value and getting people real results. The average person, the average Trader Joe just coming in and not knowing anything about credit, being able to apply the information and the teachings. Okay, they got results, they shared it with their friends, their family, and they joined our public communities and they took action and they got the results and they shared this information in this channel once again with other people. So, I got actually started with him 500s. He had a master class that I know he was just running a promo on it, but he said that he was running a promo for $500, and this was actually around the time of my birthday in September of 2021. I was up north at my cabin with my family, and at the time I didn't have $500 to invest in the information, so I was like, yo, all I want for my birthday, this was my 21st birthday, all I want for my birthday to my mom and my grandparents, I told them was this course. I wanted this course. It was a $500 course. In that course, he showed you how to set up a credit repair business, and then he also showed you like some funding plays, how to get funded, how to stack credit cards. So he showed me how to stack 6 credit cards with only getting 2 inquiries. He showed me how to remove collection accounts, etc. It was more of the type of information I'd say I see on the internet in terms of like 609 letters. In terms of he gave us like over 20 different template letters, which a lot of these template letters have, now that I know, consumer law codes within them, but maybe like 1 or 2, but they're not so much exercising the consumer law, but they're just throwing those in there, right? So I wasn't aware of them at the time, but I heard a lot of a 609 letter, and I knew that at the time the 609 letter was powerful, and that's why a lot of people were getting removals, and that's how at the time that and debt validation, methods of verification were like the main ways that I was going about, and freezing the reporting agencies, which I don't recommend current day to freeze any reporting agency. I do not recommend that. If you guys have never heard that on my channel, you guys will never hear that on my channel. If anything, we're going to pull those reports and we're going to get those deleted through those other reporting agencies as well. So at the time, my 21st birthday, and my whole birthday, I literally stayed on the hammock outside in the woods, and I was watching his whole course. On my 21st birthday, I just wanted to learn and just consume this information because I knew where this would take me. And that's one thing I always pride myself on, is I've always done what others were not willing to do so that I can get the results that others will not get. And I know that it's a journey, and I know that you just got to continue to plant those seeds and water your guys' garden. And so even now, every day, water in my garden. Not, we don't have the garden that I know that is coming to fruition, but every day I'm watering it so that one day it will be that garden that I see very vividly and very clear in my mind. And so, I just started to learn a lot more about information with that course, and me just invested into myself. And that's one thing I've always done and never been afraid to do, is invest in the information. My mentor has always told me, I want you to write this down, an investment in yourself is an investment in your future. The best investment anybody can make is not gold, it's not cryptos, it's not real estate, it's not no mutual fund. The best investment anybody can make is an investment in yourself, because an investment in yourself, once again, is an investment in your future. So I always looked and figured out ways where I can just invest in the extra information. So that $500 course that I was gifted to me for my 21st birthday really helped everything skyrocket. I started to apply that information to myself. I started to get those collections removed. I started to get those inquiries removed. But at the time, I still couldn't get those student loans removed. So I was like, yo, let me invest in more information. I've seen a couple of my boys, learning this credit stuff as well too. Shout out to my guy. He's out in Detroit. What's bro's name? Let's slip my mind right now. Wow. He's, somebody who I always will give love to till this day, because he did something like this. I'm thinking of his Instagram name. I don't know why I can't think of his real name. I forget, but Shout out my man. He actually just hit me. Take us home. Take us home. This is his Instagram. What's brother's name? That's my brother for real. Like we used to train Matt, my boy Matt. Okay, I don't know why my mind was blank. My boy Matt, and I'm also terrible with names. That's one thing you guys will find out about me. My boy Matt, who I used to train with back in Arizona when I played college ball, he was playing college ball as well too. And this was actually when I was in high school and he was playing college ball, and he was training as well too to go play like semi-pro or something. And he was a grinder, always grinding. But he was in Arizona. He's from Detroit because he was actually going to college in Arizona at Arizona Christian. And at the time, I was playing high school football, training, and we just stayed connected, followed each other on Instagram. I seen him when he was done with football that he got into business and he got into the credit space. I seen him dropping a lot of game in the credit space, and I just reached out to him. And I'm real big on collaboration. You know, alone you can go fast, but together you can go a lot further. So I'm like, yo, Matt, like I see you on the credit space. I'm actually learning myself right now. I invested in the Bandman Kevo's course, you know, his OnlyFans, and then I paid for this $500 masterclass from him 500. And he's like, yo, I actually got access to him 500's mentorship, which was a $5,000 mentorship. So I'm like, word. I'm like, you know, I would love to hop on a call with you, go over some information. He's like, bro, I can just give you the login. I'm like, what? I'm like, the login? I'm like, shit, if you open to it, bro, you know, I'm not going to deny it. So he gave me the login for recession proof. Him 500's $5,000, you know, mentorship course, basically. And man, I went through it. I went through every single video in there. And I was watching all the videos. It really expanded my mind. He had a lot of stuff on Turo. At the time, I was helping people set up Turos, leveraging their credit. You know, I helped multiple people acquire cars to be able to start their own car fleet. You know, at least 5 people that started their own car business off of credit from the information that I brought to them, brought forth from that course. So that course was a blessing. I myself had a car on Turo. I was making money on that as well too. So I was doing the DoorDash, and then on top of that, I was doing the Turo, which then a lot of people were like, yo, how are you doing Turo? How can I do that as well too? I'm like, yo, I got the game, I got the sauce, you know, especially with the credit. Boom, I can help you, you know, leverage your credit to get started in Turo. Turo, just like Airbnb, broke down the game to them, gave them some tips that will help their business grow. You know, just thinking about like, yo, okay, what's going to differentiate you from the rest of, you know, from Hertz, from rent a car, from all these car rental places. You know, it's got to be that customer acquisition and customer care, and being able to over deliver on those little things, like having, you know, air fresheners in your car, having candy in your car, having a list of good, you know, top places to go in the city and whatnot, being able to pick up at the airport, etc. And I lived right by the airport, so I was able to get a lot of different bookings through my car at the time. And so yeah, that's what I was doing. I was running that, and that really helped bring in some money at the time. And I just kept learning through that course, through that recession proof. Even while I was driving, doing DoorDash still, I would be listening to that recession proof now. So it went from podcasts on YouTube to where I found out about Him 500 because of the Earn Your Leisure podcast that he did, talking about credit repair and how he used to repair phones, to then he started fixing other people's credit and etc. And they made, you know, hundreds of thousands off of credit. I'm like, yo, everybody's got credit. If I learn this, I can be able to help anybody. Because at the time I was doing crypto, and I was a part of an educational platform that, once again, educate people on crypto, but not everybody wanted to learn how to invest or how to, you know, people at the time didn't really care nor know anything about crypto. And if you were invested in crypto, once again, they thought you were scamming somehow or some way. So that was in 2021. And man, just kept learning, kept applying that information and watching them. And I remember in about February of 2022, or November of 2021. So my birthday was September. October, I believe, I came across the course. Then come November, December, I find out there's one video on the mentorship with the Bureau Bullies. Right, Him 500 in the Bureau Bullies. Drop a 3 in the chat box. Drop a I love myself in the chat box. Forget 3. Drop a I love myself in the chat box in the comments if you guys are watching the replay. If you guys have ever heard of the Bureau Bullies. Well, at the time, it wasn't just Brother Omar. There was Sister Sophia, Sister, I forget the rest of their names, but Keontae or Kiki, Sister Kiki and Sister Sophia. I still got recordings and audio recordings on my phone. Drop a I love myself though. Shout out to the Bureau Bullies. Shout out to Brother Omar and everything that he's got established with the Bureau Bullies. I'd love to one day collab with him. Monsa. Many of y'all know about Monsa. I watched one of the videos with this other guy. I forget his name. Brandon Joe Williams, I believe, and he even gave credit to Brother Omar, and he was a part of his teachings as well. And a lot of great teachers nowadays have came from Brother Omar. So that goes to show the information that he teaches is next level and can help anybody not only get the results, get the remedy, but be able to do so and show other people how to do so as well. And I believe it's a domino effect, and the more the merrier, the more the better in this space, because more people need to know about this information, and maybe somebody will resonate with you a lot better than they'll resonate with me. And I don't care to be that person at all to have everybody watching my channel. I believe I attract the right people here on this channel and the people that are aligned with my frequency and just the way that I maneuver as a whole. So yeah, the Bureau Bully, that video that he did with him 500, and he was talking about credit, and credit is life and debt is death, and how we're crediting all these corporations. And I was just mind blown. I never heard anybody speak of credit in the aspect and the ways in which he was speaking of credit, talking about how the United States is a federal corporation and everything within this corporation is commerce, and you got to know how to operate within the game of commerce, and that within this game of commerce we're consumers, and that the government has. And he was telling us how anything with a .gov we've been taught to typically be afraid of, or typically to be afraid of anything with a .gov. But he was like, no, if you know who you are and if you know your rights, anything with a .gov will be your best friend. And then he started talking a little bit about the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, how we're consumers, and we got these regulators that are looking out for us and regulating these banks, and that there's these laws in place that protect consumers against these corporations and these debt collectors. And I'm like, what? This a game changer. This is something I never heard. I heard a lot about templates. I heard a lot about 609 letters. I heard a lot about freezing this and freezing that and calling the bureaus. And he's like, yo, they're not even called the bureaus. Nowhere in any of this in Title 15 does it state that a bureau is Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. That's where he's like, that's where we give up our power. That's like me calling you Oprah Winfrey. If I call you Oprah, you're not going to answer to that because your name's not Oprah, right? So he's like, same thing with these bureaus. They're not bureaus. So when you call them a bureau, they know that you don't know who you are. So therefore, they're going to continue to violate you and continue to, break the law. And so I just was like, okay, I'm really looking to get into his teachings and his information. And so he had a mentorship. He had some courses and stuff, and I bought all of his books, spent over a couple $1,000s on all of his books, which now he has a part of his mentorship for free. And I've been a part of his mentorship since then. I haven't stopped watching him since then. If you guys ask me who I listen to the most when it comes to consumer law, it's Brother Omar. It's the Bureau Bullies. Or I know Sister Sophia and Duke. Duke's gotten a free vehicle. He got an Escalade off of consumer law and going to the dealership and exercising his rights. And there's over like 300,000 views on that video. Duke too has gotten results. There's been so many people that have came out of the Bureau Bullies and the transformation that they've literally created in this consumer law space. I believe that they've created the most, in this space. And I love to see that, and I'm grateful to be a product of, his teachings. And so, yeah, I invested into that, and I've been invested to this day into his school. I watch his trainings when he does trainings. Till this day, I'm still a student. I'm still learning. A lot of this AI stuff that we've been doing comes from, the mentorship and the things that he's been teaching us. So super grateful for Brother Omar. Shout out to Brother Omar, the Bureau Bullies. They definitely helped create the monster that y'all are seeing here with Credit Guiding and all the teachings and the results. Maybe a lot of you guys just resonate with me, and maybe a lot of you guys have been in his teachings and his courses and his classes, but you don't resonate so much with him and his teachings. So you come over to me, and I don't only teach the things that I learned from him. There's a couple other people that I've kind of summed up this information in these teachings with, and along with that, just doing my own self reading. And that's the thing as well too. Once you get to a certain point, you got to just start doing the reading for yourself and start interpreting it. And people and mentors can only really get you so far. And once they've gotten you to that place, it's really up for you to continue doing the work and continue to building and adding on to the individual that you're looking to become in this space and the value that you're looking to add to yourself. So yeah, when I got asked to Brother Omar, I was able to get the student loans removed, and I heard of the right of rescission, right? And being in the space, just learned about all debts are prepaid. You don't need to pay off any debts. So once I heard about that, I started learning about the 1099-A process. But really the right of rescission, I exercised it. I didn't hear back from the company at all, Westlake Financial. So it says after 20 days of rescission, all payments become void. So if all payments became void, I'm thinking in my head like, yo, I'm good. I haven't heard from them in over like 30 days. It's been like a month and a half. I haven't heard from them at all. I've sent them multiple letters, cease and desist, CFPB complaints, right of rescissions, etc. And they weren't responding to me. So I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. We here. I got a free car. This is the car I had on Turo. It's a Kia Optima, like 2016, 2017. And yeah, one day go outside, and this about 3 months after, and 2 months after, and my car is gone, and I'm just like, no, where's my car? I'm like, no, this can't be real. And that's when reality kicked in and life hit, and I'm like, okay, they repossessed my car. I figured out where it was. I went to the lot, started exercising these, the FDCPA to them, and breaking down how they're in the wrong of the FDCPA, and, they're using unfair, deceptive debt collection practices. And I started just exercising a bunch of different consumer law codes and whatnot. And they're regular people, average people, and they didn't know these consumer law codes. So I ended up even calling the cops on them. The cops were like, yo, really, the only thing that can be done is if, you file a case through the courts. So I'm like, okay, same day went to the courts, but my wrongdoing was I went through the state courts. And so I went through the state courts, and it took me time and time again to get this situated and even get a hearing, because all they kept doing was filing a motion to dismiss. So I just kept learning, kept studying, kept investing into more information, more knowledge, especially with me, having this case going to court. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to get this car back. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get this car back, or get paid for this. So I put my big boy pants on, and I filed, the case against them, and, went in and out of court. And every day, I was even listening to more information, more teachings, came across a couple other teachers who I don't really listen to full time to this day. I did come across Durain Delavante in one of his 3-day master classes on the right of rescission. Invested in that one. I'm like, yo, this is perfect. I got a case right now that I'm going through specifically, and he's going over a whole 3-day master class on the right of rescission. And I invested into that course. It helped a lot, helped big time. And, I just kept getting that motion to dismiss. So it finally came to the point, and then that's when I came across the name change information and the secure party creditor process, and I was going through those teachings as well too. And that's when I came across USFL, high frequency radio. At the time, that's when I was listening to Chris Hauser. I was listening to Chris Hauser real heavy, which led me to this guy named Midwest, which then led me to Jarrett Realty, which is this couple, which they got a lot of great information and teachings on their channel as well. They were stating to be trustees, but I believe they just were so backed on people coming to them to be their trustee that they weren't able to fulfill much, if anything. So they had a great, cause for what they were looking to do, and I believe they were great people, but I don't really think they got too many, if anybody, any results. But at the end of the day, it led me to information, it led me to knowledge. Granted, there were times where it led me down some rabbit holes that weren't really needed, and that's why I'm real picky and very intentional with who I do listen to and what I do listen to, because there's a lot in this space. There's a lot of rah in this space. I'll tell you guys that much. That's why on my channel as well too, I specifically stay in the consumer law lane. I don't teach things that I haven't done. I only teach things that have ever worked for me and on my end. So if you guys ever hear me talking about anything on any of these videos, it's things that I've either done or I've helped other people do. You know, so I don't teach you about a 1099A. I don't teach you about a 1099 OID. I don't teach you. Yes, I've gotten approved for a 1099A, but I never had a trustee that was able to actually receive the funds for that 1099A. So yes, I'm aware of it and what it can do and the meaning of it, but it's never worked for me. So why would I go out and teach other people such? Yes, I teach people how to set up a 508c1a because I've got a 508c1a. I've got my card, the title, and the registration in my 508c1a, which is a private trust. Also, I've got bank accounts set up for it, and I got actually 3 total 508c1as, which are nonprofits, which you can also get tons of grants approved for that as well too. So yes, I do teach out of my mentorship because those are things that I've done myself. That's why I really stay in the lane that I stay in the consumer law space. And I know that it's going to take us to where we want to go. But at the same time, I've expanded even more, and I've been opening up even more with my teachings to other things on the back end that I've also done. As I've gotten assistance, we've gotten into the e-commerce space. We've gotten into the print-on-demand space on TikTok Shop. So yes, we got e-commerce added and adding more to and we've been doing that with the mentorship, but I'm adding some stuff to the university. Yes, within the mentorship, I've been for the past, since I've had the mentorship, going over crypto information, done tons and tons of calls with other crypto, which I would say and call gurus in our space, in our private communities, not really looking to bring that forth publicly because I wanted to really build my lane before I even did expand into other information. I wanted y'all to get the information needed to get you guys to the position to where my community is now ready to invest in the cryptos. My community is now ready to even think about those things, because when you're drowning so deep in the debt, you really don't want to think about anything but getting yourself back to land so that you can breathe and, you know, be able to think. So I believe I've gotten my people to that land. I believe that I've got my people to that space and that time. And drop a heart and drop a YBC, drop a billionaires club, drop a billions if you've gotten accounts removed, if you've gotten to that land, if you've been able to remove debts off your report, you know, just from my teachings and just from this channel. If you guys are watching the replay, if you guys are here live with us, go ahead and let the family know, you know, as to the things that you've been able to accomplish being here on this channel. Let me see. I spoke to multiple consumer lawyers. It's sad some of them seem like they're working for the system. Yeah, of course. I mean, they get paid off of you going into the system. They don't want to take willful no compliance or other credit issues, only in case they love to take. Congratulations, damn, that's facts. Hey family, do you recommend sending power of a limited attorney? Peace and love, family. Shout out my guy Troy Straw, man. Tuned in with the mob, one of our membership levels here on the YouTube. Got a lot of videos in there as well too. That's very insightful. So yeah, man, fast forward 2021, tapped in with the Bureau Bullies, and that really helped change a lot of things. And then I had my car repossessed, which really took me to a whole nother level, got me to lock in even more. And where I messed up with that was I stopped making the payments. So yes, the right of rescission is 100%, you know, it's there, and I believe it's the most powerful law in truth and lending. But you got to stay in good faith until you get that account zeroed out. You got to exercise that right of rescission. Now that you've exercised that, now you got notice, now you got proof that you put them on notice to be able to take them through arbitration. So family, with that being said, you know, stay in good faith. Don't stop making payments just because you guys come across this information. Stay in good faith until you get it removed. Stay in good faith until that account is zeroed out. I promise you guys will get a letter. Yo, this account has been zeroed out. This account has been removed. You know, your consumer file and all of your information is being removed from our system and our reporting. And we're going to go ahead and update the reporting with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. I've gotten letters time and time again, because at the end of the day, once we start talking about arbitration, now we're talking about money that they're losing out on. When it comes to business and being any business, you're not going to want to lose out on money. So when they're about to lose out on tens of thousands of dollars, they're going to go ahead and remove a couple $100 collection account. They're going to go ahead and remove, you know, an account that they bought for pennies on the dollar because if not, they're going to be having to pay up tens of thousands of dollars once again going through arbitration. So yeah, from there the repossession was able to take them, and after state court continued going through the motions to dismiss, really just going back and forth. And this at the time too where I didn't even have a car, so I had to have my mom take me to and from our house downtown Phoenix just about every other week to get all this filing figured out, and to make sure that I was doing everything that I needed. So I was like, okay, state court's not going to work, so let's take it to another level. And I took it to the federal level, and through the federal level was where I actually got them to get it removed once I filed it. And then once I got it removed, I was like, okay, I'm good here right now. Then I filed arbitration, took them through arbitration, and that's when they paid out a couple $1,000s from arbitration. So I didn't get the remedy in federal court, I got the removal, but going through arbitration is when I came after them for the remedy, because there were damages and so many things that affected my livelihood from the car being repossessed. So definitely came after a couple thousand for that repossession of that vehicle, and this was back in 2022. So that just continued to lead me to, and throughout that was helping other people, my family, helped my mom at the time remove tens of thousands of dollars in medical bills, same thing with my brother, and I just realized that I can go out and I can do this for other people as well. And so I started doing so for other people. I helped many people get vehicles, helped many people discharge student loans, helped many people discharge, tons of collections, charge-offs, etc., credit card debt that they were drowning in. And it led us to, in 2024, late 2023, discharging over $500,000. And then fast forward to 2024, we've now discharged in total over $1 million in debt. And when I went to the and then I started getting on YouTube and teaching all this information on YouTube, which brought in even more clientele, which that's what brought us over $1 million in debt, in which we discharged, because I got a flooded amount of clients coming into us because I had a couple videos that went over 30K, and I was so flooded at the time that I'm like, yo, I can't do this all on my own, along with the other things that I had going on. But at the same time, this has always been like my main focus ever since ever since about 2021, once I got access to that HAM 500 recession proof course. And yeah, so started to get on the YouTube, and once again I had a couple videos that blew up, which my channel went from like 120 followers to 1.5 thousand, or 1,000, and then 1.5 thousand, and then it's like, no, now you can get your YouTube monetized. It's telling me go on YouTube Studio. I didn't know how for the longest, for like 2-3 months I didn't know how, and I didn't really care to, so I just kept dropping more videos. 10,000 views, 15,000 views, 25,000 views, 3,000 views, 2,000 views, and my viewing time just kept going up. People kept watching, and then I hit like 2,500 subscribers. And I'm like, all right, I got to learn how to get my channel monetized. So I finally learned how to get my channel monetized, got it monetized. Within the first like couple payouts, they paid me over $1,000 the first couple payouts. $1,000, like 900 and 800. And this was on YouTube. And I'm like, yo, if I can really be able to monetize my channel like this, and, by doing things that I've been doing already for the past 3-4 years, just educating people on information and adding value to the marketplace, yo, we're going to keep at it, and we're going to just make it a thing to make sure that I over-deliver on value. And for all of my entrepreneurs, people in the business space, if you guys are looking to take your business to another level, be that person to add value to the marketplace. And there's so many people out there that gatekeep information, and what y'all got to understand is there's real life people going through real life shit, and real life people that need answers to, that you guys can help them with. So at the same time, yes, I get it, we need to be able to put food on the table for us as well too. The right people will come to you, and the right people will see value in you and look to pay that back to you in one way or shape, whether that be a mentorship, whether that be a course that you put together, whether that be some templates that you put together. And at the end of the day, once you get the results, and once you get them the results, they're going to share you and your teachings with other people, and those other people may want that help, but maybe they don't have the time. Maybe they're a lawyer themselves, maybe they're a cop themselves, maybe they're a college professor themselves, but they don't have the time to be able to do these things that you are teaching, so they just pay you for your services. So yes, we got services as well too, where we offer help and we do everything hands free for our clients as well too, because my main thing is, yes, to teach you guys all how to do for self. My mentors always told me, if you fish for a man, you feed him for a day, but if you show him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. So that's why I've always been big on showing you guys how to do for self with all of this information. But at the same time, all right, we're on 6%, so we gotta wrap it up here. At the same time, I know not everybody can or is looking to do for self. So we got the services, and at the time, like I said, my inbox was being flooded with people messaging me asking for my help. So I was in Canada, and my ex-girlfriend, her mother had an assistant in the Philippines, and she's like, yo, I got an assistant, he'd be, I believe, great help for you, and I think you should, try him out. She's like, I can get you started for like $5 an hour with him. I'm like, yo, $5 an hour? No way. Ain't no way, $5 an hour. I'm like, that's cap. I had assistants out here in America, but what I was doing with them is just paying them for like commission, and then also paying them and then just basically exchanging services, helping them with their credit. If they had clients, that they bring in, once again, just paying them commission. So then I didn't have I didn't have the money, to pay overhead and pay a whole employee. So $5 an hour, I'm like, yo, I could definitely pay that. That would be big time. That'd be lovely. This was literally last year around September. Yeah. So, because I was in Canada then. Got connected with him. He started helping me with my YouTube, responding to clients and, just fulfilling orders, and helped me with the credit side of things and sending out letters. And I taught him the process, and he's like, yo, I got another, assistant as well too that can help us. If you're looking for another assistant, I can get her, to work for a little less than $5 an hour. And I'm like, yo, if we could do that, yo, let's definitely do it. Let's expand. Two employees, it became 2 assistants, that started working with our company. And that was Z Zyra at the time, who's now the CFO of our company, and she's operating things, and running things just as, just like me, a mirror image of me, present day. And man, fast forward, we now got over 30 employees overseas in the Philippines. We got an agency with it, and it's more than just credit. We got a marketing department. We got a team of coding. We got a team that builds out websites, that builds out funnels. We got a marketing department. I don't know if I said that already, but we got a graphics department. We got a creative, content, department where they create all of my YouTube videos and all of my vlogs, and, edit all of my videos and stuff. So yeah, man, it led us to that, and the agency that we created, and this was just, the agency was in April. September, we had 1 to 2 assistants. Come April, I went out there and I had 5 employees. They introduced me to a lot of people, and a lot of things just arose and business opportunities. I connected with one of the universities out there where I partnered with them, and we offer students on-job training. So that's basically internships for the college students to come work with my company. And because we got an office out in the Philippines, that's our main headquarters, is in the Philippines. I got some land as well where I'm about to be building on that land 5 stories high on that land, and we're gonna have, a bunch of different things, more than even just credit. And it's in the mountains, got a great view. So we're gonna have it 5 stories high. In the 5th story, we're gonna have, a cafe. We're gonna have, people come in, a tea shop. We're gonna have tea. It's gonna be filled with plants, like a greenhouse type vibe, like glass, glass windows, everything. On the 4th floor, we're gonna have our call center, a BPO call center. All of these call centers that you guys could think of for these big industries, Fortune 500 companies, all of their call centers are in the Philippines. In Cebu and in Davao and Manila, all of the, AliExpress, Amazon, Nike, all of their call centers are in the Philippines. They pay, the same rate that I pay my employees out in the Philippines. So I want you guys to understand, like, especially if you got a business, you're going to want to hire overseas. One, they do the work a lot better, and it's also just going to save overhead. More money that you can be able to put into doing things that are going to help bring forth even more income, so that you can therefore be able to help give back even more on a larger scale. And the money that you're giving them as well too, it's life-changing. Honestly, the money that they make out there is less than a lot of places. Like, 90 cents is like minimum wage out there, 90 cents an hour. You know, some people don't even get paid like $10 a day. You know, they'll work at $8, then they don't get paid like $10 a day. You know, so it's crazy. And you can pay them $5 an hour, $2. 2 hours. That's more than what they're getting paid typically a day. You know, so, and even if y'all started with one assistant, I started with one. I didn't have plans to expand to having over 30 and having a payroll of assistants that I got now. So, but it's led me to where I'm at now, and I'm grateful for it, and it's helped expand my business tremendously. A lot of the things that you guys see isn't always me, in terms of the responses on our business number. It's not always me. So I want you guys to understand that you got to create a system. A system helps save yourself time, energy, and money, and it truly does. And we've built the system. I've got the system with my assistants. I've got the system within our business, and you must operate off that system. So, yeah, that's led us here present day. We're continuously empowering the masses. We've got over 70 students active in our university online, which is continuously growing. I highly advise if any of you guys are looking to learn how to get Remedy, whether you guys got good credit or bad credit, I would get tapped in with our university. We've got over 40 individuals that have invested into my personal mentorship, where they're working hands-on with me. We do 2 calls a week. Also, you get lifetime access to the university, so you won't have to pay any tuition, and you get that 508c18 trust set up, literally step by step with that 508c18. On top of that, you get that non-citizen national passport card, and the biggest thing is community. Right? You get access to our private community, and that's things that money can't buy. Is a network. Tapping the network. It's not about what you know, but who you know, really, in today's world. So just being able to tap in with other people that are on that same frequency. We got many business owners within our mentorship that are also, applying this information, the business credit, to getting the business grants that they're applying for every single month, that we get access to every single month in our mentorship, in our private communities. We got a Facebook group that I just launched, which is going to be great. I actually connected it with the university and the mentorship. So even with you guys just being in the university alone, you guys are learning and getting the tools and being able to connect with people within my mentorship as well too. So above all else, family, we got many services for you guys to be able to do for self. Here alone on the YouTube, I've given you guys just about everything you need and more to get any account deleted off your consumer report. But if you guys are looking for more guidance, you could even just start with the YouTube membership levels, where I've put together different membership levels on YouTube, where I've given more information and more value within the YouTube levels. Aside from that, family, we got, do for self services as well, and we got a franchise opportunity where you guys can get access to my whole agency, have virtual assistants working for you in different departments, and then you guys can get a website built out. You guys can literally get the whole system and operations of a business, get the CRM that we have, etc. So those are for my big timers. Those are really ready to level up and invest to themselves and their future and start that business. So we got franchise opportunities. We got a mentorship, a university with over 70 students active right now. And then we also have, do for self services as well. So that's what we've been at, family. And, that's where we're going to continue to grow upon. We've now just recently launched a travel portal, where this travel portal has also got access to an educational platform that will educate you guys on how to set up an online business, how to start selling through e-commerce platforms, how to start getting invested into the cryptocurrency markets, how to monetize your social media to be able to get brand deals and be able to make money off your social media. There's a lot of things, that are really a part of this platform that we just connected with and collabed with. So if y'all are looking to get access to that early access, I'm officially going to launch it and do a video on it December 21st of next month. So for those that are looking to get early access to this community, to this launch, text us the word at 305-575-2843, the word launch, and we'll be able to help you guys more in depth with that launch and getting you guys set up. But above all else, family, I appreciate y'all hearing the journey, hearing how I've been able to create this success, not only for myself, but for thousands of other individuals across the world. And I'm super grateful for it. And I don't tell you guys this once again to impress you guys, but to impress upon you that you too can be empowering thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people all across the world. I know it because I was once in your shoes, and I was once wishing for somebody and a mentor like and to provide the amount of information that I'm providing here on this YouTube for you guys for free, in a Discord community, in a Facebook group, all public, all free, at your guys' hands and fingertips. Now it's up to you guys to do the work and take action. So I appreciate each and every single one of you guys, because all of you guys allowed this to even be possible. Without all of you guys or any of you guys tuning in, none of this would be possible. Without any of you guys taking action, none of the testimonies would have been able to be created. So I appreciate all you guys doing the work. I value you all. I appreciate you all, and I look forward to continue seeing the results and the success that comes from our channel and our movement. So if you guys ever need anything, y'all know where to find me in the Discord. That's the best place to find me, in our public Discord. I've even opened up a channel to show you guys how to start capitalizing in these crypto markets for free. So make sure y'all are tapped in with our Discord. We got a lot of money moves that we're making within our Discord. I'm about to drop the best credit cards in the month of November for you guys to take action on as well. And if you guys got a Navy Federal account, I'm going to show you guys a play where you guys can actually hit them, because they're getting sued for over $90 million right now. So one love, family. I appreciate you all. Y'all stay blessed. Peace and love. Real quick, I want to answer Justina. Where do you recommend we start at? Watch this video and find you a mentor. That if there's anything that y'all take away from this video, what got me to where I'm at, and the time machine that I've literally gone into, because some people don't even know this information their whole life. I'm 25 years old, came across this information when I was 21 years old, and it's changed my life, for the rest of my life. Not so much in terms of monetary, but in terms of the way of thinking and the way of seeing things in money and knowing how money truly works. And that's all from investing into mentorship and the power of mentorship. So if there's anything I'll take from this, find a mentor, stick on that mentor's hip, and unlearn everything so you can therefore relearn everything. One love.